every one of the emotion groups has a variation of severity, and every one of the emotion groups is guided by the power level of the expectation on your self map versus your perception and the appraisal that you put on associated with that, the power level of your perception. And the higher both of those are, the more severe your emotional reaction is going to be associated with that. For instance, discussed over there on the right-hand side of this slide, the higher power level that you have, and disgust can be a hardwired thing too. Like if you smell something rancid, the more rancid it is, the more revulsion you're going to experience. If it just looks unpalatable, then you're going to be reticent to interact with it. The definition, it's not in this slide deck, by the way, the definition of disgust is that reaction that you have to say, I don't want to make that a portion of my sense of self. A good example, Sean Ryan had a guest on a couple of weeks ago, Ryan Montgomery, who is the ethical hacker who was hacking into pedo websites and exposing all the pedophiles for the FBI and law enforcement, and nobody stepped up to help him, and nobody took the information that he had put out and went to go to arrest anybody. And so Sean Ryan put him on the show. There were a lot of folks. I put out a video for that, got to 3 million views in just a few days. A lot of folks were experiencing disgust about that. Well, that was their physiological, psychological reaction to, I don't want to make that a portion of my life. I don't want to make that a portion of my sense of self. That's the physical reaction that you get when your stomach turns a little bit, by to say, I don't want, let's start expelling. Let's start making exit ramps for the stuff that's within our body, just to make sure that nothing that is associated with this comes inside and invades us, right? That's what the emotion of disgust is all about. Sometimes there's a physical reaction to it. A lot of times there's just a psychological reaction to it. A lot of people had the disgust reaction to all of that content that Sean Ryan put out because it was that reaction. I don't want this to be a part of me at all. I don't want to discuss this. I don't want to know that this exists. But man, if we got to head this on to eliminate it, okay, I'll watch, right? Happiness has the same rules. When your happiness arises, it depends on the level of your perception and appraisal process matching with the expectation and a preference, and the closer the expectation or preference is on something on the middle of your self map, the happier you're going to be about it. When my son gets straight A's on his report card, I'm ecstatic about it because my son's right in the center of my self map. I think good grades are setting good disciplines to do good work in the future. So when he comes home with those two things that are matching, they all balance, and I'm super happy. I give him money. Worry is a fear that will resolve at some point in the future. So basically, it's fear with a time component. It's fear with a future resolution. Well, I'm worried that I'm going to get laid off, but I'm not sure what's going to happen, and they're not going to announce for another month. So it's not imminent fear like there would be if a bear walked into your office. But it is a worry about a fear that's going to be resolved in the future. So it's a fear with a time component. Regret is sadness with a time component. Regret is something that resolved in the past, and you took a devaluation in the past. And so that's how regret works. A lot of these emotion families have really simple definitions. Stress is, in general, an imbalance in the equation of emotion that doesn't resolve for some time. Fear is a stress response. Fear over long periods of time, you start to call stress. You can call it worry, but in general, it classifies as stress. At any point that you have an imbalance in your equation of emotion, your body is in a stress state, and your mind is in a stress state, and it's going to affect your wellness and your health overall. So to reduce that stuff is going to be super important for you.